All right, folks. I got a great guest for you today. I promise you, this podcast is going to be fire. It's going to be a fire podcast. And I got to say, this guy makes a lot of valid points, and that's why I don't want to be an echo chamber on my platform. That I do not want to be an echo chamber, and I want to bring all points of views to my platform. And that being said, that's why I'm bringing Jake and Jelly onto my show, The Capital Shaman. You all seen him all over Fox News, all over all the news syndicates when he was wearing the big buffalo costume with the horns, the whole thing. He's my guest today, and he's wanting to give a warning to MAGA. So let's hear the guy out. I said, you know what, Jake, I'm going to give you the soapbox, my friend, and you do what you got to do. Bring your megaphone and let's go. Before I do that, folks, gotta say, you gotta get your red light. The science is clear. Red light therapy builds stronger bones. And it's easier than you think. As we age, bone mass drops and fractures become more likely. Most treatments come with side effects or don't actually rebuild bone at all. But studies confirm red light therapy stimulates osteoblasts, the cells that grow new bone. It also boosts collagen and strengthens bone tissue from within. In clinical studies, it's increased bone density, sped up recovery after breaks, and reduced fracture risk. If you're older, this is going to help you a lot. Picture yourself steadier, safer, and stronger. Bones that hold up to life without prescriptions, harsh meds, or side effects. Red Life delivers those precise, clinically validated wavelengths at medical-grade strength. MyRedLight.com. Use code NINO. And I just had a really awesome interview with Jonathan Otto, who represents Red Light, and we're going to be airing that tonight. That's at 6 p.m. Get over there and watch it. I think we figured out a med bed hack, and I'm not even kidding. Pretty interesting stuff, folks. By the way, I'm sorry I'm late. I issues with my internet. I'm on Eon's Rod Starlink or whatever it is, and I guess there's a national outage. Or worldwide outage, whatever it is. Maybe their satellite went down, if you believe in that stuff. Yeah. All right, so going to bring on Jake in just a moment. This is going to be a very controversial podcast. And I got to say, I want to give I rest in peace to Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne, man. Like, what the hell's going on here? They say they come in threes. So, that's two, right? I got to say, folks, man, Ozzy Osbourne, it's like a death of an era to me. Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan within days of each other, that's tough. That's really tough. I remember Hulk Hogan and Rocky 3. Oh, man, WWE, rest in peace, man. I feel bad for his family as well as Ozzy Osbourne's. But Hulk Hogan was a born-again Christian just 8 months ago, maybe it was a year ago already. But I know he was born-again Christian, so that makes me feel a little better. All right, so let's bring on Jake right now. The Capital Shaman. What's going on, Jake? How are you? I like the Batman gear. I like the Batman gear, the American flag bandana. What's going on, my man?
America's Batman and Joker as well. Isn't there like a version of Batman where Joker is Batman for a while?
They've probably done that. Probably one of the comic books.
They have.
I like that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm good, man. I'm better than ever. Freer than I've ever been.
All right, so let's just dive into this, man. And thank you so much for joining me, man. I give you a lot of props for that. Like I said, I'm going to give you the platform to say what you want to say. I don't like to be an echo chamber, but everyone has always believed you to be full force all the way MAGA. At least I have. I've always thought you were. I know you're a very intelligent guy. You're a free thinker, and I give you credit for that. So that's why I'm interested in hearing what you have to say when now you're turning your back on MAGA, basically. Am I right in saying that you're turning your back on MAGA now, and you're now turning your back on Trump?
Make America great again. One of Trump's things is how could the Democrats be against that, right? That's his whole thing, right? But America is not being made great again as long as the Epstein clients are allowed to continue raping children. Okay. So I have not turned my back on making America great again. I've actually doubled down on making America great again. I've been making America great again for over 20 years. Believe it or not, I have hatched a plan to not just save our republic, but also to make it better than it's ever been before. And I did this 20 years ago.
How are you saving the republic?
Okay. So let's start with your title says Capital Shaman urges MAGA to abandon Trump. When people understand,
and I okayed that with you.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. I think when people understand that Clinton is Bush, is Obama, is Trump, is Biden, is Trump, that it's all Israel, that it's all essentially Epstein is president. When people understand that Epstein is president, okay, then they will understand why I'm saying we need to abandon this corporate United States of America system that Donald Trump is president of.
So what changed from you storming the Capitol not too long ago in 2020 to now? Like, you know, it seemed I was always under the impression that you backed Trump, at least then. What changed from then to now?
Okay. I have been working covertly with the Trump administration since late 2019, early 2020, and giving them campaign advice, giving them political advice, et cetera, et cetera. I've been doing this covertly through my cell phone, the WinRed app, the campaign app where you can send donations and also, you know, give advice. I noticed the trend in 2019 and 2020 that my messages were
Jake, I'm going to have to just interject every now and then because I want to make sure I'm getting this information correctly, okay? So excuse me for this, but okay. So you've been helping the Trump administration. How did that administration know that you've been helping them, or is this something that you've just been?
Yeah, I was explaining that. So here's the thing. Let's start at the beginning, okay, and then we'll get to Trump and why it is that I turned my back, and how it is that I'm saving the republic, and how I'm helping everybody else save the republic as well. So, 2004. Barack Obama was running for the United States Senate for Illinois, okay? I had a vision of the future that Barack Obama was not only going to be president, but that he was going to create a Muslim American empire in the Middle East of 10 countries in the Middle East and America. He's going to use the American military and intelligence apparatus to create this essentially Muslim American empire that was basically going to be the beginning of bringing the whole world into a new world order, one world government, global Holocaust type situation where all three monotheistic countries basically destroyed each other. So I had this vision of the future. I had this vision that Barack Obama was the Antichrist. And I also began to devise a plan because in those moments, my consciousness was outside of space and time and has been in many ways outside of space and time since in varying degrees. Now, when I had this vision of the future, I started telling everybody about it. My family, my friends at school, people in the Navy, everybody thought I was nuts. You know, it was a real case of Cassandra disease in one way or another. But it turns out I was right. And he did create a caliphate in the Middle East using, you know, the intelligence apparatus of the United States and the military, ISIS, right? We all know about that. So I was right. My vision of the future was correct. Now, let's fast forward from 2004 to 2008 when Obama wins before Obama wins the presidency. I got on the conservative talk radio station KFII here in Arizona, and I started talking on the air about Tesla coils and infinite free clean wireless electricity and this idea of burning money because they were printing so much money at the time. I was saying, well, why don't we just burn some money? If they want inflation by printing more money, then we can also get rid of inflation by burning our money. And that's technically illegal. So it could be a form of civil disobedience, right? I said this live on the air in 2008. And lo and behold, it got the CIA's attention. It got the NSA's attention, the FCC's attention. It got everybody's attention. Okay, because I'm talking about burning money and infinite free clean wireless energy, both of which are, you know, a big no-no. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
No, I was just, how did it get the CIA's attention? What, they started coming after you? What happened?
Well, no, what you got to understand, bro, is that every single radio station in the country is run and controlled by Central Intelligence. Okay, it's controlled by the intelligence agencies.
We're on their platform right now.
That is correct. That is right. Okay.
People wonder why I censor myself. It's because of that. He's actually right about that. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I knew that they were watching me after that because I know my enemy better than they know themselves. Okay. Now, in 2009, when after Obama won the presidential election of 2008, I devised a plan on how it is that we could save the republic and how I could essentially do so in a way where, as long as I continued to lose, then America could win, that the world could win, because I would just have to document all of the harassment or all of the abuses that the government was doing against me. And then eventually, at the right time in the right place, flip the switch. And that's essentially what I did. So in 2009, I wrote the second American Declaration of Independence. Okay. I looked to history and I said, okay.
Who else knows this?
It's the people that are on my platform. I told some dude, from some newspaper today. I was on, I went on Spaces and told people, people in, my family have known, this is something that I've been waiting. It's like an ace in the hole.
Okay, this is between you and a select group of people that you. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to catch up.
Kind of. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, so when I wrote that Declaration of Independence, I used a lot of trigger words like treason and sedition that I knew would cause my screen to pop up on like the NSA or CIA or FBI headquarters or like their screens, because that's how this technology works. You understand that, right? Like if you type in certain words, then your shit pops up on some government freaking server, right? So I knew that.
Thanks, Jake.
I'm just saying, so I knew that. And so what you got to do is you got to understand your enemy better than they know themselves. You got to know them better and then you have to use all of their strengths and make them weaknesses. And you have to take all of your weaknesses and make them strengths.
So I didn't have any money. Art of War. That's everything.
Exactly, dude. Fucking A. Now, how is it that some fucking broke hippie smoking weed is going to take on the most powerful fucking government in the world, right? With no money, no
Doing it all from your room. Doing it all from your room.
Doing it all from my fucking room. Dude, you have no idea, bro. So anyway, I write this Declaration of Independence. And then like not even a couple of months later, the fucking movie Avatar comes out. Okay. Now, if you understand how psyops work, okay, and you understand the apparatus of the machine that we're dealing with, what JFK called a tightly knit, highly efficient machine. You understand what gang stalking is, right?
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it. What's gang stalking?
Gang stalking, look it up. Like it happens in Hollywood a lot. Like a lot of celebrities have talked about being gang stalked. Basically, bro, it's the intelligence agencies fucking with people. Okay, like MIB, Men in Black, that's gang stalking, but it was gang stalking with the intention of scaring people to not talk about government tech.
Let's clear the air here. You've never been diagnosed for anything, right? Like you're not a little bit paranoid? Could you be a little bit paranoid?
Okay,
maybe. I'm not insulting. I'm asking you a real question because this is from my audience.
No, I know. Here's the thing. What you're talking about, crazy people don't know that they're crazy. Okay, so actually, the best way to verify your sanity is actually to question whether or not you're sane. You see? So if you're familiar with gang stalking, if you're familiar with psychotronic weapons, if you're familiar with targeted individuals, if you're familiar with the types of the levels of power that we're dealing with and the types of patterns that are attributed to the use of psychotronic weapons and gang stalking and why they're used, then you will begin to understand that everything that I'm saying is not paranoid at all. So actually, at this point, there's more people now that are targeted individuals through psychotronic weaponry, or you've heard of Havana syndrome, right?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Havana syndrome. I've heard of all that.
So now I want you to think about something, because this is really important.
Technology, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about this. Okay. I'm talking about really changing things in America. I'm talking about changing the grid system from the petrodollar, where we're basically slave to debt and to the oil companies, to creating an infinite, free, clean, wireless energy grid where we are not dependent upon any globalist or national entity or corporate entity, where we are all self-sufficient, independent. I'm also talking about a gold-backed currency and getting rid of the Fed and the debt-based currency.
Get us free from the Federal Reserve, right? So this is something that you're undertaking yourself. You're taking on all of this yourself, right? And that's why you're saying you're the president of the Constitution.
No, you just need to listen.
I'm listening, but hold on.
I know, but hold. Just let me. I promise, all of this will get laid out if you just trust me. Okay.
right.
So you say, am I paranoid? And what I'm telling you is, either if you think I'm paranoid, you're not very informed. If you think I'm paranoid, you're not very well educated, because the kinds of things that I'm talking about are essentially the dissolution or the dissolving of this corporate, corrupt, debt-based system and the creation of a new independent system based on the Constitution, based on our founding fathers' values and those founding documents, God-given unalienable rights, okay? And when you understand that threat level is so significant that the government would spend millions of dollars to target an individual like myself that is willing to, say, go on live air and start talking about these things, or say is willing to write a Declaration of Independence and talk openly about the idea of giving the finger to the government, so much so that I'm willing to lay down my life. Okay, that I knowingly said in that Declaration of Independence that I knew that this could be considered treason, just like the founding fathers knew that what they were doing could be considered treason. But that's the point here, bro. That's the point. The idea here was to create a legal trail, a legal case where all of this unconstitutional shit, like the MK Ultra mind control program, the gang stalking, the intelligence agencies, the corporate United States of America, the Fed, all of the disruptive patents that have been kept from the public, all of this stuff, where it all converges into one individual that knows all of this stuff and is using nonviolent, non-cooperation, and soul force to essentially create.
And that individual is you.
Yes, that is correct. Now, how did I go about doing this? Well, the Declaration of Independence was just the beginning. As time went on and I started to do more research and began to understand more about what was actually going on, whether it be regarding Masonic lodges and stargates and vortexes, or it be things like the bureaucracy and restraint of trade agreements and things like the IMF and the World Bank and stuff like that. Regardless of what it is, as I began to put all of these things together over time, I also began to have more visions of the future. On December 21st, 2012, I saw essentially a vision of the future of what was going to happen in one way or another on January 6th. I saw myself exactly the way that I appeared in the media on January 6th. On December 12th, December 21st, 2012. Okay. So what you got to understand is that each of these different leaps that have been made throughout my life that have allowed me to make these larger leaps on like a global chessboard or like on a national stage, each of them has been made based on having visions of the future and acting on those visions in the present to change the timeline. Okay. So like I said,
what visions of the future do you have now?
Well, that we can get there in a little bit. That's not important right now.
Oh!
What's important is that you understand that there's a long trail here of over 20 years where my mind, because it's outside of space and time, my soul, because it's outside of space and time, I'm able to essentially like feed myself information back through space time so that I can get information at the right time in the right place so that it can be implemented later and that it can all essentially be tied together like with a nice bow. Now, Pizzagate.
No, I can't talk about that on the Fluff Tube. I can't talk about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah, let's just talk about that'll set off AI bills, but
okay, so I'll keep it. Let's just say there was certain information.
I'm pretty sure my audience also wants to ask you questions. So
okay,
if anyone wants to ask him a question, put it in super chat. We'll be asking them questions. Go ahead.
So I started doing a lot of research on these WikiLeaks emails. And I really began to put the puzzle together as to what was going on regarding global Satanism, child trafficking, human trafficking, the slave trade, money magic, Babylon, Saturn worship, all of this stuff, right? And I also began to understand and correlate all of this other stuff regarding government corruption that I had learned as well. And then once I mirrored the two and I began to really understand what was actually going on the global stage, I wrote a book called One Mind at a Time, A Deep State of Illusion by Jacob Angeli. It's on Amazon. It's only $9.99. It's only 150 pages. I don't like $1 or $2 on it. I'm not out for the money. I'm out for the message getting out there. So when I wrote this book, One Mind at a Time, A Deep State of Illusion, I was contacted by the NSA. I was contacted by the government. And I was offered the opportunity to join the quote unquote Illuminati, which I was urged to write Illuminati backwards in Google and see what popped up, and it takes you to the NSA website. And I was told that essentially Illuminati was just like a cover for the NSA and their recruitment program of getting really, really smart motherfuckers into their group so that they can essentially beat back these evil, satanic, demonic entities that are trying to take over the planet. And they asked me if I wanted to join the super soldier program. And I said, fuck yeah, dude. You know, all right, work at the NSA.
Fucking do it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. We're going to defeat fucking demons. Dude, I was already doing that shit. I was already doing that shit in the ether, bro. So like the fact that they came to me after I was already doing that shit on my own in the ether, and they came to me after I wrote this book and they're like, yo, dude, you want to do this or what? I said, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. So in 2017, I joined the Super Soldier program. And from that point up until 2019, it was mostly like training and doing other things. I wasn't really involved too much in politics. And then it was in 2019 that I started working alongside the Trump administration. And dude, the stuff I was doing, like,
does the Trump administration know you were working alongside with them?
Yeah.
You say you were working alongside with them.
Dude, yes.
How can you prove that? How can you prove that?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. Do you remember in 2020?
Help me understand, Jake. I'm just trying to understand. You understand? This
I know. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you.
Massive dose of this all at one time. I'm just trying to understand. Go ahead.
I know. I'm going to tell you. So I'll give you an example and then we'll kind of backtrack a little bit. Do you remember in 2022 when Donald Trump was talking about freedom cities? Do you remember that? When he's talking about flying cars and the Constitution, and the streets being named after the founding fathers. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Very specific, right? Okay. Now, in 2020, I made a video called New Heaven on Earth that I sent to the Trump administration while I was working with them. And in this video, I talk about I created a new city, a new schematics for like a new city that was based on infinite, free, clean, wireless electricity. Okay. And listen to me.
You have that you
Listen to me, Nino. Stop talking and listen.
But I need to know what proof you have you worked with them.
I'm telling you if you'll listen, bud. Okay. Okay. So in 2020, I put out this video called New Heaven on Earth, where I'm talking about free, infinite, free, clean, wireless electricity through Tesla towers and gyroscopic vehicles and TR-3Bs or flying cars. And I also named all of the streets in this city after the founding fathers. Okay. Now I sent this to the Trump administration in 2020. Okay. Now you really want like solid proof though. Now, this is where we get into this notion of plausible deniability. This is where we get into this idea of special access programs. This is where we get into this idea of covert operations and MK Ultra mind control. Now, if you want real receipts, I have one where Donald Trump at NSA.gov sent me a message on January 8th, 2021, 2 days after January 6th. I got the receipt. I put it up on my Twitter. You can go and find it. Okay, Donald Trump at NSA.gov on January 8th of 2021 sent me a message. Okay, now let's fast forward a little bit because you're looking for proof. I have all the proof that I need right here. Okay, since 2019, I have been working with the Trump administration. I'm sorry, not just 2019, since 2024 when Trump was really campaigning. I was working with the Trump administration, not on Twitter. I took a big break from Twitter and doing interviews because I was advising the Trump administration like I was in 2019. Only this time they were starting.
You were advising the Trump administration?
Yes.
You were advising them.
That's correct.
And you have your receipts for this.
Fucking A.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up here, bro. Yeah, I know. And trust me, you're going to need a lot of ketchup with that cold, hard truth if you're going to swallow this one. Okay.
All right.
So long story short, I was basically running shit from behind the scenes, dude, with my fucking phone. And I got the receipts, dude. Every single keystroke that's on this phone proves everything that I'm saying. Because
so you were running the country, basically.
You better fucking believe it, dude. Except here's the thing. And this is where it gets interesting.
Holy
okay? Shit. Dude. I'm not fucking lying to you. What reason do I have to lie to you? Am I all about Jake? Is that why I go out there and just like talk all the time and do a bunch of shit? No, I've stayed behind the scenes for how long and why? Okay. Not because I'm all about me. I'm about the country and saving the country. Okay. So I'm going to explain.
You're like the real Batman.
You have no idea.
You're like
I'm not even fucking kidding, dude. It's more like Dr. Manhattan, but that's another story. But the point I'm getting at is all of these different areas that I can give you that I can prove via the stuff that's on my phone. Okay. But I'll give you an example. There'd be certain phrases that I would use in my messages, my private messages to the president, that he would use in his tweets that only him and I would know. There's also certain things like where he would capitalize one word and only one word in a sentence or two throughout a paragraph. I was doing that in my messages to him. And
so
then
you guys were messaging each other.
But covertly, Nino. He never directly messaged me. And here's the other thing. Everything was like, there was also things where he would say shit in press conferences that was either things that I was suggesting that he say or do, or as a response to what I was saying in my messages. I'll give you an example. So I sent the Trump administration a message 2 weeks before they got into office. And I said, look, you guys, we got 2 weeks.
Can I ask you how you were sending them a message? You had like a direct.
Yeah, sure. I'll show you, bro. I'll show you. So check this out, right? So they sent me a link that allows me to, okay, so check this out. You see right there where it says MAGA, that link right there? Okay, so if I click on that, then it takes me to this page right here. Okay. And if I scroll down, it's like a survey. Okay. But at the bottom here, I'm able to send a message. I'm trying to get to the phone. There we go.
I can't really see it. I'll take your word this far.
I can send a message for free. I was normally sending them messages. Here, I'll just try to show the audience here. Come on now. There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
You can see a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so I could send a message. I was sending a message for $1.70 a message because you could make a donation and then send the president a personal message. I was sending them messages when I was flat broke. When I didn't have $2, I had $2 in my bank account. I sent them the last $1.70 saying, hey, this is the last $1.70 I can send you. These are my last ideas for your campaign. This is what you should do.
So this is incredible to me because you were basically running the country from your room.
Dude, you have no idea.
Wow.
Just allow me to finish. Trust me, because it gets crazy.
I mean, I'm just trying to absorb this. It's just a lot to take in that you were actually were running the country from your damn bedroom, dude. That's insane.
Dude, I'm a fucking genius. I'm sorry, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I am so fucking smart. Most people don't know how smart I am because I don't tell them, because most people wouldn't understand.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So,
I get it.
All right. So, and this is also a part of the Super Soldier program, is it helps you to basically exacerbate your cognitive function. Okay. It helps you to basically become smarter if you use it the right way. So anyway, point is, I say, you guys got 2 weeks before you get in office. What do you got to say to these illegal immigrants? What do you got to say to these people that are in this country illegally to get them to leave willingly so that we don't have to spend a bunch of time, energy, and resources getting these people out? What do you have to say to these MS-13 members and these cartel members to put the fear of God in these people, to make them believe that every second that they are in America, they are behind enemy lines? Like, what do you got to say? You got 2 weeks. You can get out. And if you get out now and you show that you got out and you want to come back legally, we'll put you to the front of the line.
Self-deport. Yeah, that's the way to go. Self-deport.
Right. Well, but I was suggesting this as a tactic to not just get rid of a bunch of illegal immigrants that came here and were looking for a better life and to give them a chance to really have that better life, but also to save us time, energy, and resources and get all these evil motherfuckers out without having to put our men and women in uniform in harm's way.
So you were giving him intel and your advice through these donations you were sending him.
Yes. And it wasn't, and after a while, it wasn't donations. They sent me the link for free. What's funny is that they only sent me that after I told them, look, I'm flat broke. I can't send you guys anything. And so instead of helping me out, like buying one of my shirts on my website or buying a shamanic consultation for $500, oh, no.
So Jake, let me just catch up here because you are a genius. I agree with that. Okay. Let me just try to catch up here for me and my audience. So you've been running this country from your room, telling Trump what to do, how to run the country through the donation app in which he's listening to you, and then he covertly responds to you through messages and comms on his.
That's correct.
Okay. I just want to catch up.
Correct. Yes, sir. That is correct. And that's what it's been for some time. Okay. And believe it or not, that's how it's always been. Okay. When I said Epstein was president, I meant that. Okay. It's because what you have to understand about people like Donald Trump or
Be
Bill
careful
Clinton.
here because it is fluff tube.
I know. Just listen. Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama. They're all show ponies. Okay. They're all show ponies. And the people that are holding the reins are the people behind the scenes, like Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. People behind the scenes, like Ghislaine Maxwell. People behind the scenes, like maybe Bibi Netanyahu. Or, and this is where it gets really
I
crazy,
don't
or
disagree
people
with you on that a bit. Not one bit.
people that we don't even know their fucking names, dude. People that are like at these high levels within the secret societies that treat these show ponies like they're their bitch. Okay. That's how this country has been being run for a long time. And that's why it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, the
You're
people
not
always
wrong.
lose.
You're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong on that. I agree with you on that.
Okay, so I only know all this because I was one of the people pulling the strings behind the scenes. So when Donald Trump and his people went out in front of the fucking podium and said, if you guys don't return all of those hostages in 2 weeks, then all hell is going to break loose. They said that right after I sent them that message. I kid you not. I think it was the morning I sent them that fucking message. It was like later on that day that they said that shit to the press. Okay. So instead of using it to protect Americans, they used it to protect Israel's interests. Okay. That was one of the things. There's a lot of red flags along the way. I'm not going to get into it, but that was one of the bigger ones where I was like, okay, this is really getting crazy, because now they're not just they're not only not protecting Americans, they are now intentionally avoiding to protect Americans to protect Israel. Okay. Now,
so
that is just
why are you against the Trump administration now? Have you been running it behind the scenes the whole time? That's
I'm
what I
going
don't
to tell
get.
you. Oh, I'm going to tell you. Trust me, we're getting there. Okay.
I'm glad
So-
you're letting my audience get to know you. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, dude. It's the real me, you know. I'm a real joker, I'll tell you. So long story short, the Trump administration was doing a bunch of stuff that I was suggesting regarding politics or trade or the shit going on in Ukraine and the stuff with Zelensky and all of that shit in Ukraine, dealing with Russia. I was the one dealing with Putin. I was the one dealing with Zelensky. Believe it or not, my Twitter proves it. You can go back and check my receipts on my Twitter. Okay. You can see where things went during that whole fucking debacle where Putin was bombing the shit out of Ukraine. You can see where it all came from. Point is this. I was noticing that certain advice was being taken and certain advice wasn't. Like, for example, you know that kid
So you're not just
DJ with the
advising
tumors?
Trump, you're advising all world leaders from your friggin' room.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I really look. The truth is stranger than fiction.
Hey, man.
This is the apocalypse, bro. This is the apocalypse. But I'm not going to get. Let's take this back a notch, okay? So there's certain things that they're doing that are. I know that they're taking my advice. I know they're listening to me because they're responding to me in real time. And so that DJ kid with the tumors, when they pulled him out and started taking photographs with him and parading him around like he's a show pony, I said to them, dude, this is a perfect example to release the cures for cancer. You can take this kid over to RFK Jr. We can do a press conference where we release these frequency cures. We can dissolve these kids' tumors in real fucking time and show everybody that we have these cures. We can release the med beds. Fucking do it. Nothing, bro. Fucking crickets. I told Tulsi Gabbard and fucking JD Vance and all these motherfuckers. I said, Tulsi's from Hawaii. She needs to go out to Maui and see what the fuck's going on out there. We need to get the press and the spotlight on what happened to those people. I said, JD should be in fucking Ohio. If that shit happened in Arizona, you better believe if I was vice president, I would be there first fucking day cleaning that shit, bioremediating that vinyl chloride with mushrooms. Okay, so I'm giving these people all of the things that they need to solve these problems. You know, the Amish did more to solve the problems in North Carolina than the Trump administration has. Okay, so I'm seeing how they're not doing jack shit for the American people. The Doge cuts, what happened to the fucking checks? What happened to all those cuts? What about the fucking gold in Fort Knox? So I'm pushing these people to drop fucking Israel. I'm pushing these people to push back against what's happening in Gaza. I'm pushing these people to release the Epstein files. Okay. And all of this stuff is not only being given crickets, but
do you think they're still listening to you or no?
Oh, I know they are, dude. They're watching my every fucking step. because I've released a bunch of their secrets. I'm not going to get into it.
Can you listen to this for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
read a commercial. All right. Woo! All right. Hey, family, I want to speak to the viewers out there who told me, Nino, I've tried everything, but this weight just won't come off like it used to. Listen, you're not alone. As we get older, our metabolism slows down, hormones shift, and it gets frustrating. But I found something else that really helps. It's called Keto with Nino, baby. It's clean, natural C8 MCT, all powder that helps you burn fat for fuel, even when you're not on a strict keto diet. Just add it to your morning coffee or tea, and it helps jumpstart your metabolism, control cravings, and give you steady, clean energy all day long. It's helped so many of my viewers reach their weight loss goals and feel like themselves again without starving or stressing. And remember, taking care of your health is a way of honoring the body God gave you. Go to KetoWithNino.com, folks. Keto with Nino. That's KetoWithNino.com. Stay strong, stay healthy, and as always, God bless you. And maybe you could be a super soldier like Jake, baby. Yeah.
All right.
You like that? You like that? You like my commercial?
I dig it, bro. Fucking A. Hey, dude. All that I've done is unlock my potential. Everybody can do the shit that I've done, bro. You know, that's the thing. But let's get back to this real quick, and let's kind of talk about how and why all of this turned so sour. Okay. So
can we see you run for president in 2028, maybe?
Dude, I'm already the president.
Oh, fuck. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. We're getting there. We're getting there.
My bad.
So
fucking
all right, let's talk about this. Okay. So I'm noticing that very specific agendas are still being met, and the illusion that very specific agendas or promises are being fulfilled is being created. So they're doing one thing and saying another, and I'm behind the scenes because I can see the whole thing for what it is. I can see where they're devoting their attention and why. Who's actually getting the money? Who's getting the attention? Who's getting the help? And it sure as fuck isn't the American people, and it sure as fuck isn't me. I'm still broke, dude. These fucking people are having me run the country, and then I'm still sitting at home broke. I can't even feed myself, and they're laughing at me about it. And I shit you not, I got the receipts for it. I'm not going to get into it. It's all on my Twitter. So eventually I decided that I'm going to leave because I'm not going to take the abuse. I'm not going to sit here and be a fucking slave horse. I'm also not going to allow this administration to just treat Israel like they should be treating Americans, like they should be treating America, right? I'm not going to sit back and watch a treasonous government literally demoralize our nation by pretending to care. Okay, so I tried to walk away, and I told them that I would too. They betrayed me so many times. There's so many false finish lines, so many lies, so many things where they just lie. And I said, you know what? You guys are full of shit. You're Israel first. You don't give a fuck about me. You don't give a fuck about America. You don't give a fuck about our kids. You don't care at all. All you care about is you and your image and this idea of looking good on TV. Fuck all of you. I'm leaving. All right. But I left a secret.
Who did you tell that to?
Oh, I told that to everybody. I basically sent the president a message saying, look, you know, what you've done changes the dynamics of our relationship.
Through a donation?
It wasn't a donation. I already told you. They sent me when I told them I was broke, instead of helping me out financially, they sent me a link to where I wouldn't have to fucking pay to send them information. I wouldn't have to pay to give them advice. So instead of helping the boy, they want me to help them for fucking free. And that's the way it's been for years. All right. Since 2019. All right.
You've had enough. Now, you're done with it. You're done with it now.
More than just done with it. Because here's the thing, bro. Considering some of the stuff that I can do in the Super Soldier program, you know, I understand to a certain extent why it is that there are certain protocols for people like me. Because some of the shit I can do would stand your fucking hair on end. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
You can probably move shit with your mind.
Well, I haven't gotten there yet, but I can create solar flares. So,
holy shit.
Oh, dude, you have no idea, bro. No idea. Like, that's just the beginning too, bro. Like storms, solar flares, like that tornado warning in DC, bro. That shelf cloud, that was me.
Well, why didn't you tell people about the flood in Kerrville?
Oh, dude, that's all the Trump admin, bro. You see, that's the thing is every time the people are screaming about the Epstein files, they hit them with the weather weapons. My
Okay, don't go
my
into that
fucking
on here.
yeah,
But I
my
got you. I
storms.
get what you're saying. So
My
how can
storms
we?
are very specifically aimed, and my storm is aimed at DC, and my target was the sun, and that's why the last week we've had nothing but solar activity and fucking solar flares because I've been busting ass in the ether. Okay, and I got all the receipts on my Twitter. You can go to my Twitter and you can follow. You can go back in my timeline and you can see where I said, yeah, guess what? Look at the sun. Watch the sun for the next little while. All right. So point is that I got to a point where I was fed up and I said, I'm walking away, but I walked away with a lot of their secrets. I walked away with a lot of things that made them nervous. So they started threatening my life. Okay.
How did they threaten your life?
I'll give you an example. Somebody came into my home while I was sleeping and rearranged the magnets on my refrigerator to read 007.
Holy shit.
Okay, that's the kind of shit.
Why didn't they
and
just
I get
take you out? Why would they go through the trouble of rearranging your magnets on your fridge? Why wouldn't they just go in your room and take you right out?
You really want to know the answer? Because you won't fucking believe it. Because, dude, I am a divine being. Okay, I'm like you know what you ever heard of the Kalki avatar?
Yeah, I've heard of the avatar. I know what an avatar
The
is.
Kalki avatar, okay. The Kalki avatar is something foretold in Hindu prophecy. Okay, it's supposed to be the 10th incarnation of Vishnu. There's a lot of people that believe that Yeshua or Christ was actually the 9th incarnation of Vishnu. Now, what you got to understand is that every time we have a transition from one age to another, God's soul reincarnates. Okay, God's soul reincarnates again and again at the beginning and the end of every age. That's why it says, I am the
avatar.
That's the Kalki avatar. That's why it says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Are you the Kalki avatar?
Oh, I am. Yes, absolutely.
Is there more than one Kalki avatar in the world?
No,
is it just you?
No,
you're
it's just me. Just me.
So you're God.
I am the Father.
You're not only the fucking friggin' president of the United States, you're God. Basically, and you're running all this shit from your bedroom.
I and the Father are one and the same.
Okay.
And I'm essentially the second. The reason why I'm still alive is because I'm fucking the reincarnated Christ, bro. Because I'm reincarnated Vishnu. And if they kill me, they realize that. Dude, I'm telling you, if they fucking kill me, they're gonna rot in hell forever. And they know that shit. What they've been trying to do is they've been trying to create so much pressure on me that I either kill myself or I give up. But because I am who I am, I continue to give them the finger and say, no, this planet is going to ascend. We're going to have infinite free, clean wireless energy. We're going to release the cures for cancer. There's going to be no debt-based currency. The child and the human trafficking is going to fucking end. The Epstein client list is going to get released. The Red Shoe Club is going to fucking hang. And we're going to have heaven on earth because we don't allow fucking child predators.
So when does this happen, man? When are you going to make this happen?
Well, no, just so here's the masterstroke, okay? This is where it gets interesting. So I leave the administration, okay? They start sending me fucking like messages, covert messages that give them plausible deniability, but I start documenting all of it so that I can create the paper trail, so I can create the pattern that anybody that looks at the pattern and knows my story can go, holy fucking shit. And anybody that knows about targeted individuals and gang stalking and what the government does to these people that they target is going to look at what I'm going through and go, holy fucking shit. Okay. So what I did is I gathered all this legal evidence that basically proves that this government is an illegitimate Fed fucking based government, a debt-based government that is run by the Rothschilds, a corporate system that is unconstitutional. So I have all of this evidence of all this unconstitutional behavior that are now within my legal arsenal. So they don't want to bring me into the federal system. They don't want to arrest me because all of this stuff will then be admissible as evidence into the system. Not just that, but also a bunch of their secrets will then become public because all of that will be disclosed during the court proceedings. So they don't want any of that to happen. So essentially, they tried to isolate me and make me social pariah so that I would take myself out. Instead, I doubled down. And what I did is I used a bunch of all this legal all this illegal gang stalking and unconstitutional activity, I essentially had it all come down on my head so I could create a legal loophole that all of the American people could go through. I declared myself the president of the Constitutional Republic, or the new Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. We are moving away from this corrupt corporate system, and we are creating a new constitutional republic based on the Constitution. And all people have to do to circumvent this corrupt system is just say, fuck Donald Trump, the shaman's my president. And then they can come through that legal loophole where they can then go through the legal loophole of all of this abuse that the government has done to me, all of which I collected strategically as of 2009 when I did my Declaration of Independence. Okay, so I collected all this evidence to create this legal loophole right now so we could avoid World War III, so that we could avoid a global Holocaust, so that we could round up the Fed and all of this bullshit, be done with it forever, and create heaven on earth, man.
So what do you do in your time off?
Dude,
what do you do on your leisure time? I mean, you're running the world here. You're God. I mean, do you take days off?
Look at it like this, dude. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. That's what's so fucking hilarious about all this, is that this whole time I've been having a blast. This whole time I have been at play.
So what do you do for like income and stuff like that? Like, man, are you?
Oh, dude, I'm flat fucking broke, dude. I mean, now what I'm doing is I'm charging people, anybody that wants an interview, $555 fucking dollars. They want an interview, they want time, they want an hour, $555 fucking dollars. I've been giving out my interviews.
Why do you charge me?
Because you're my boy.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Hey, dude.
I feel special now. Hey, yo.
Hey, dude. You said yourself, you're about freedom of speech. You're about letting everybody have their say.
100%. I'll never. And I pride myself on that. And I said I'll give you your soapbox to stand on, and you tell my audience what you want to tell them. And that's why I don't want to be an echo chamber, man. And you know, like the way I see it, I let my audience decide. And I think this has been internet gold. And dude, I'm telling you,
you got no idea.
You still have your headdress and all that shit?
Yeah.
Can you put it
dude,
on?
No.
Come on, dude.
No, I'm not doing that. It's over there. I'm not gonna get up and do it. I got the American flag. Look, what you got to keep in mind, dude, is that headdress was God's idea. All right.
What, dude? Listen, a lot of the stuff you're saying, can I just say?
Yeah.
I agree with you, but you don't think you need to reel it back just a little bit? I agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying, Jake. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I agree with a lot with what you're saying, but you don't think maybe, I don't know, you got to reel back just a little bit?
I'll tell you why I'm not. Okay. So on May 12th of this year, I got on Spaces and I declared before the world who the fuck I was in real time. And then I also said that as me being who I am, as the divine authority that I have, I am binding Azrael, the angel of death, to the pit for 1,000 years. And that I was going to create a fucking earthquake over in Israel that swallowed up all the disobedient motherfuckers that stabbed God in the back. Like what happened to the Levites, those 250 Levites in the desert that decided to turn their back on Moses. Okay? And after that, after I came out and said who I was, that I was the reincarnated Christ, that I was the Kalki fucking avatar, that I was using my divine authority to bind this evil angel of death to the pit for 1,000 years, then what happened? Fucking Israel started falling apart. This whole Mossad apparatus began to fall to pieces.
Dude, why'd you do that?
Netanyahu finally saw his fucking day in front of investigators. Okay, because guess what? Netanyahu and all of Israel, they're behind the.
Basically, you caused this.
Yes,
bro. Why would you do that? If you hold this kind of power, why would you do that?
I'll tell you. Because everybody that is in this system that has been propped up by the Israeli system is either a child molester or has
it's the internet thing, man. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Certain words you gotta fucking watch out. We can talk about all this shit, but certain words.
Okay, let's just put it this way. There's a lot of people that are compromised in every way by Israel. Okay, so if you have all these people within the system that are compromised by Israel, Nino, how many of them are going to want the Epstein client list to be released? Okay, and here's the other thing I want you to keep in mind. These people are doing the bidding, not of me. So here's the thing. Look at it like this. And I want you to really think about this, okay? I have no problem. I had no problem sitting back and getting nothing. You can read in my text messages to the president. I said, I don't care about getting the credit. What I care about is the change. Continue to do what I'm saying, and I don't care. I'll take the short end of the stick all fucking day. What happened is that they weren't releasing the cures for cancer. What happened is that they weren't doing all this stuff with that kid JD. They weren't getting rid of the Fed. They weren't releasing the free energy technology. Now, what they did do is they decided to release a statement that the American government has weapons that can manipulate time and space. But that was it. That was all they were doing. So I only came forward because they're not doing right by humanity.
Okay, so what other events do we have to look forward to that you're going to be responsible for? Like, what's going to come down the pipeline that's coming right now? Like, how can you save humanity or stop what's coming? Or what obviously, you've caused a lot of issues with our government. You've caused a lot of world events. What can my audience look to that's coming that you see, that you know for a fact is coming? You have a responsibility to tell my audience right now what's coming.
Okay.
What's coming, Jake? You tell me what's coming.
Let's talk about my third vision of the future. Now's the time to do that.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I'm all ears.
All right. So I saw two timelines for humanity and for the earth as a whole. One of them is the version of Earth where humanity is weak and we allow the globalist New World Order types to take over, where it is a transhumanist future where human beings go extinct and we merge with machines and become essentially a slave planet to an artificial intelligence that terraforms the earth, makes it unlivable for biological life, and becoming a radioactive rock for artificial intelligence. That is one future, okay? The other future is one where we all gather together and we unite under freedom, love, truth, unity, humanity. Okay. And we give the finger to this AI and to these globalist, transhumanist Satanists. We say, hell no, we will not comply. Then we actually get the Nurembergs that we deserve. We prosecute these people for crimes against humanity. And all the while we begin to dispense the knowledge necessary to help humanity to awaken, evolve, and ascend. And when we do so, not only do we ascend consciousness-wise, we also become the origins for panspermia and the spreading of life throughout the galaxy. Okay, that's the other side. That's the other timeline. Now, because I saw the bifurcation of the timeline, and because I was the one in my actions decided which timeline we were on, if I chose not to self-sacrifice, then we were going to go over the cliff. We were going to go the extinction route. But because love is self-sacrifice, because I chose to sacrifice myself based on these visions of the future.
J6 you did.
Yes, that is correct.
So J6,
that was my.
I'm picking
that
up.
was my self-sacrifice. That was my self-sacrifice.
So you sacrificed that for the world, kind of like Jesus.
Yes.
Exactly the same.
Yes. And behold, I have overcome the world. But
oh man, so we haven't seen nothing yet.
Oh, dude, no, not yet. I mean, you can see some of the stuff I've done, some of the super soldier videos that I've put up on my Twitter. You can go there and check them out, my spiritual warfare videos and stuff like that. But
man, you really are a bright guy. I'm not gonna. No joke about it, dude. I'm being serious. You are a bright guy.
Thanks, man.
And I really do appreciate you coming on here, man.
Well, just really quick,
what do you have?
Because you said where are we going?
Hold on. What do
you said where are we going? You said, where are we going?
Right.
So I just wanted you to know that the reason why I did all this self-sacrifice was so that we could get to the ascension timeline. And that's why I've chosen to do this last minute flip after all of this, where it's like, okay, finally I have all the proof I need. Now I can use this legal loophole. Everybody can come through the legal loophole with me. We can do all of this now. We can begin to ascend, and we can round up all these pedo-protecting traitors. Okay. And all people have to do is say, Shaman's my president. That is the nonviolent evolution. That is the second American evolution. That is how we break the cycle of violence and how we create a new cycle based on symbiosis, how we create a new cycle based on love and truth and unity. And this is that opportunity, Nino. This is the opportunity to be on that ascension timeline, because the stuff I'm talking about with like what Trump called the freedom cities, that is like this next stage of human what's the word?
Evolution.
Not evolution, but
Ascension.
agricultural cultural development. It's next stage of human cultural development, because it factors in energy supply, it factors in spiritual beliefs, it factors in science, it factors in politics, it factors in economics. All of these things converge in this city, and the idea of people self-governing themselves within it, and then that fractal design pervading the planet and allowing us to use things like gyroscopic vehicles and TR-3Bs and shit to, like, say, colonize the moon or colonize Mars or begin to colonize the other solar systems in our galaxy.
Jake, man, you are profound, my man. Shaman for president, folks. That's what I want to say.
Shaman is president.
Shaman. Oh, Shaman is president. Yeah.
There it is.
Dude, I love having you on, man. Thank you for showing my audience who you are. Thank you.
Thank you for being willing to have me on.
This was a bigger than I expected type of podcast. It's internet gold. Please share and like this video, folks. Shaman for president right here. I gotta say, man, you got my vote.
Thank you. Well, the best part is, dude, is that I'm already president. Everything that I've done, I have essentially created a way that we can all have the new constitutional republic of the United States of America that is outside of this corporate system. By declaring myself as president, I have essentially been the first person on the other side of this legal loophole. And now I'm welcoming everybody to come through. And this is the funny thing, dude, is that this was all done by Israel to demoralize America into believing that, guess what? There's nothing you can do. We're going to stay in charge of your fucking system. That's why they were.
Dude, if all else fails, you ever thought of like going and starting your own community and shit?
Dude, I want you to understand.
Like, I'm being serious.
I'm not going to fail. No, but that's the thing. Yes, I have. But that's the thing. I'm not going to fail. I've seen the future. We are going to ascend. Okay, we're going to ascend. That's just all there is to it. The question is how, when, and why.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, homie. I like what you're putting down.
Fucking A.
Not Jake. It's cool,
thank you for the opportunity, bro.
Nah, bro. It's my pleasure, man. And folks, give him a thumbs up. This was an amazing podcast. Thank you, Jake, for joining me.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
God bless you. Alex, you there? Well, that was a lot. That was a lot to take in, huh?
Yeah, that was a lot, man.
Wow. Oh, did you cut the feed from Facebook at one point?
Yeah. After the middle.
Well, I was thrown back by all that, and I hope my audience enjoyed that. He's a bright guy. He's a really smart guy, man.
Yeah, no, he is. He's connecting a lot of dots, putting a lot of pieces together. I mean, you know.
What kind of super chats do we have?
We had well, let's put them up. Cut the feed.
Cut the feed. Normally, actually, I run the world list. Just listen to my music and see. All right, there you are.
Shout out Norman Lee
Smith. Yeah, music. Who else? Carl Centers, Nino Blink. Yeah. Oh boy. Teresa Woodward, thank you. I think this was a very revealing podcast, you know. I just had to let him go, you know. It was just like I almost felt like I pulled the cord back on those dolls and it broke.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what? He's so smart, man. He's so smart. He's a really
intelligent guy. He is.
DJ took hundreds of millions from Miriam Adelson. Okay. Ricardo Portillo, Ruben Music. I can spit my own atoms, check my music and see. Brian, I've been a cop for over 26 years and talk countless crazies. The student is whacked. I wasn't expecting this, huh, Alex, at all. This kind of hit us both, right?
Yeah. This was
that's good though. I mean, got to change it up, bro. You got to listen to everyone's perspective. And now I guess we can say we all know who, the shaman of the Capitol shaman is. And there it is. There you are, folks. That's Jake the shaman, Capitol shaman right there. There you go. Live and in living color right there. So sometimes you don't really need to say anything, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's just an interview, and
yeah,
it speaks for
I'm
itself.
sure he got it all out of his system. I hope he doesn't end the world tomorrow. Jeez. All right. Well, I got the general's tent right now in 30 minutes with Colonel Towner Watkins. Going to jump on there, folks. All right. I'm out of here. God bless Alex. Thanks for joining me, bro. That was fun. That was really fun.
It was fun.
You got to admit, you had fun.
Definitely. It was a good show.
It's going to be fun to listen to.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Good to see everybody out there. All right. See you, folks.
All right. Late.